Hey, this is Prometheusch giving you another basically fundamental breakdown. This is helping you to actually understand how to do scheme breakdowns. Now, this is out of the Tampa Bay playbook, but I just wanted to show this to you guys. For instance, if I was going to go ahead and break down a formation breakdown, let's go with the I-form twin flex. First thing you need to do is you need to take a look at your audibles. So I've got slants, I've got flanker dig, I've also got play action cross in, and then I got a halfback blast. Essentially is going to give me an inside run, and I can flip that play either way, and the fullback is going to block for me. Now, flanker dig is only going to be good for it could be good against man, and it could be good against actually zone because you get a levels concept. Also, play action cross is going to force your opponent to actually go ahead and protect off that route. So this is actually not that bad of a scheme. Now, if you take a look at the running plays, I've got a halfback toss, which actually will get to the outside. That gives me some fairly good blocking, especially if my opponent starts man aligning. That puts me in a situation where I can read what he's doing. And then another thing with this formation, I've got a halfback lead draw, which is a nice play to jump into. If your opponent's using a lot of zone against you, you can actually go ahead and abuse the zone. But I'm going to need to create some kind of a base pass play. And the base pass play I'm probably going to look at is going to be hitch corners, primarily because it provides me with some man beaters, and then actually I can go ahead and I've got different ways to attack my opponent, other ways as far as whether they're doing zone or if they're going to be doing basically man, so I can have fairly quick reads. So let's take a look at hitch corners and how I'd actually go ahead and break that down as far as the play. So hitch corners, essentially what I'm going to be doing is trying to make it so I have fairly easy and fast progressions to make. So I've got basically two people I've got a post and I've got a corner route by Jackson, and really you could set this play up in two different methods. What you could do is you can smart route the hitch route, because that generally will get an easy and fast release. It will get you should be able to hit that at any kind of depth, if it's zone, if it's man. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to take away that corner route based on what my opponent likes to do on defense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drag route and put him over the middle. And my read is going to be the red route, which is going to be Jackson. Not because that's going to be the first place I'm going to be looking at. I just want to see what the defender over Jackson does. If the defender over Jackson is basically, if he follows him, I know I've got man coverage and I can actually hit this wide receiver Evans on the outside. If he floats up, then I've got essentially levels. I know I can hit Jackson going over the levels, and I've also got this running back that's going to be trailing him, and then I've got a higher level with the actual tight end going into the corner where that defensive back should be. So let's watch Jackson. Let's see what progressions I get there. So it is actually, I went ahead and forced that ball in there, but let's go ahead and take a look at this in the replay. So because I know what meets man, this hitch route is always going to beat man, and I'm going to go ahead and watch a drag route. Drag route is actually going to get followed. So he actually took a step in, and I just immediately assumed that it was going to be man, and I went ahead and rifled it to the hitch route immediately. But the smart read would have been actually going ahead and hitting this drag route across the middle, but as you can see, he's wide open and I can pick up some fairly easy yards. But because it looks like the defender actually took a step in to cover him, I was able to go ahead and hit the hitch route. But really, that was not the smart read on this particular play, because if that defender was a little bit more athletic or maybe a higher rate defender, he would have came in and probably picked it off. So let's go ahead and run this a couple more times. So now I've got a press look. So if Jackson gets shoved at the line or followed, then I should be able to hit Evans off the press. If the defenders fall down to Jackson, I might be able to hit Safri and Jenkins up in the flat. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. It is actually man coverage, and because hitches work so good against press man coverage, you can pick up easy yards that way. So watching this defender, he follows. You can see he starts following Jackson. So my man read is going to be this defender right here, and as you can see, he gets huge separation, 5-yard separation right there, and I'm getting rid of the ball so quick that the defender can't even fall. And take a look at his back. Look at the defender's back. He's got his back towards me, so I know that's another read. That's something you can look for too. I usually just try to make my progressions based on using drag routes. That's one of the fundamentals that I use to break out my schemes. Now, as you can see right here, it gets really crowded in this area. So the way this play's set up, it's not necessarily going to be able to go ahead and open things up for me. So I need to do something with this running back, get him out of this option route, because this option route doesn't necessarily work too well for me the way this play stands. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this option route and put him in a wheel. Now, depending on the side of the field, I'd either have to do a wing route, but I can actually do a real wheel route with this. So let's watch Jackson, see if he gets fouled. He doesn't get fouled, but I'm able to go ahead and hit that hitch route on that. So let's take a look at instant replay. So instant replay, he gets shoved. So this is because he gets shoved off the line right there. That means it's a cover 3 press, because he's going to let me go, and then he's going to go out to the outside. But because he's pressing me, that means I've got a free release with the wide receiver, and that's how I can get rid of that play. But as you can see, he is wide open. Basically, there's nobody in the area, and maybe because I got rid of the ball fairly quickly, but because of the levels concept, I've got him underneath, and I got the running back out in the flat taking away another defender. So that's going to open up that zone right here. So I got to play set up like this. And as you can see right here, I've got the field wide open for a drag underneath. So I've got press coverage, so it's probably man. It is. And I've got that hitch route that I can always go ahead and hit and get a reception if my wide receiver catches the ball. Now, what's good about this play is that you have to attack your opponent off the left-hand side. Another adjustment you can do too, if you want to, is you can go ahead and drag up your wide receiver. That's going to go ahead and tell you whether you got man, zone, or coverage or not. And then you still got that corner route that you can hit if it's man. But it isn't man, so you've got another drag route that you can hit over the middle for easy yards. So if you throw this into a scheme against your opponent, they're going to have a hard time stopping you, because you just basically know your reads. You know who to dump the ball down to. You know where you're going to pick up your major yards in the game. So, you know, that's one of the things you need to do, is you need to understand your reads, what beats man coverage, what beats zone coverage, how to manipulate zones. And you can find a lot of that stuff out, you know, just basically watching gameplay. But you need to know how to beat cover 3, cover 4, cover 2. What are the weaknesses of that? Yeah, the Mana tutorial actually shows you a lot of that stuff. But the most important thing is knowing how to beat man coverage, and a lot of it has to do with slants, hitch routes, which are smart routing, will give you a little bit more depth. And then just actually doing lob streaks. I'm not a very big lob streak person, but I'm winning a lot of games because I've actually been going up top and using a lot of aggressive catches. So I hope you guys like these type of breakdowns, tutorials. I can pretty much jump into any playbook and build out a scheme because I've been doing it for this past few years or so. If you do like this type of content, if you want me to put in some more tips, if you guys want me to go into other playbooks and break out a MIDI scheme out of one formation, I can do that. Just let me know. And if it looks like it's not going to be something it's real feasible, just stay at other formation, I'll let you know. So if you do like, please go ahead and comment. If you're new to my channel and you're looking for tips to get better at your gaming, trust me, I don't play this game. I just beat an opponent that's got about 535 wins on Draft Champions, and I was able to go ahead and beat him. And I have limited experience. I'm just a student of the game. So thanks a lot, and until next time.